First blood. Killing spree. Double kill. Rampage. Multi-kill.
Hey, what is up, you awesome person? Clunky here, and today I will be showing you what's the very best, the most OP disgusting one-shot build for Ali Shami right now in the War Within pre-patch. First, we're going to talk about what are the best stats possible for your Ali Shami. Then I'm going to jump straight into the talents. I'm going to summarize everything for you. It's going to be super smooth. And then finally, I will be showcasing what is the most optimal burst rotation for you so you can one-shot everything. So, as for the stats, what are the best stats? Pretty easy. Haste. I don't have a lot of haste because my gear is terrible. Let's be honest, at this point, you most likely have way better gear than me, so expect to deal even more damage with your gear. So, with that being said, best stat by far, haste. You want as much haste as possible. Next one is going to be versatility. We're going to enter PvP combat. 30% versatility is the sweet spot. Next stat we care about is mastery. You're asking yourself right now, but why is your mastery so darn high? Because I've crafted pieces of gear on the work orders that actually don't give versatility. They give me haste and mastery. Okay, I think I got a couple like that. Okay, the belt too, haste, mastery, and then finally for the necklace, again, torque of past time with haste and mastery. It's honestly not that important, but if you want to min-max, that's a very neat trick that you can do. Okay, so as for your weapon enchant, you want Sophic Devotion, very important. And then for your offensive trinket, you kind of need a Draconic Aspirant's Badge of Ferocity. Okay, that's a unused trinket. Okay, because you know that when you're gonna burst, you need your trinket to be active during that time, and this right here allows us to burst even more. Okay, and then it's super important, you need a Draconic Aspirant's Badge of Ferocity. Of course, you could use the Conquest version too, it works just fine. What is happening is we need a unused trinket just like this one to be sure that we're gonna smack a ton of damage. Okay, as for your weapon enchant, you want Sophic Devotion. It's pretty good. I've tested everything. It feels like Sophic Devotion deals more damage. It has more one-shot potential. All right, so let's jump straight into the talents. Okay, how this build works is just so dumb. Okay, it's literally called Liquid Magma Totem. It sounds super bad. In reality, it's super bad. But what's happening with this talent is it allows us to flame shock 3 targets at once in one global. It makes it literally one of the best talent possible for Ali Shami if you want to gain as much mastery as possible whenever you use your primordial wave. Okay, so the whole point of this build, okay, is going to be flame shocking as many people as possible, and then when you're ready, you're popping every keys possible, and you're literally draining health bars left and right. The next thing that you need to know about this build is Elemental Equilibrium. Basically dealing fire, frost, and nature damage within 10 seconds will increase all damage dealt by 10% for 10 seconds. It's not mandatory, but truthfully, it adds a ton more damage on top of your one-shot. So, next up is going to be Ascendance. Yes, we're playing the long 3 minutes Ascendance. The reason why is because we're playing with Preeminence. Your haste is increased by 25% while Ascendance is active, and its duration is increased by 3%. Okay, pretty good and deeply rooted elements. Okay, so you're gonna be bursting Ascendance like crazy, and you're gonna gain so much haste from Preeminence, from your Lust, and from your Primordial Wave because of the passive Splintered Elements. Primordial Wave grants you 20% haste plus 4% for each additional lava bursts generated by Primordial Wave. What it means essentially is you can put 6 flame shocks, okay, on 6 different targets. That's the max number possible. And then whenever you use your Primordial Wave into lava bursts, it will throw lava bursts everywhere, and it's going to boost your haste on steroids. You're going to get like 130% haste. That is pretty bonkers. So that's one of the trick. And then we're going for Echo Chamber because we got super insanely high mastery right now in the pre-patch. So it increases the damage dealt by our mastery. As for PvP talents, super good. Static Field Totem, absolutely insane. Okay, absolutely insane. You could always change Static Field Totem for Grounding Totem against casters. It's all good. But the thing is, why Static Field Totem is so good, okay, is because whenever you use it, you can actually carry people with it. Okay, you can move the totem and it carries the enemies inside of it, so you can pull people away from you. On top of that, like you've got your Thunderstorm, you've got your Static Field Totem, so it's pretty hard for melees to actually get a grasp on you. I would say it's just, unless you're playing against casters, like go with Static Field Totem is super good. Totem of Rat, you absolutely need to play Totem of Rat. Right now the damage for Ellie is just busted. Totem of Rat increases it by 20%. And it gives a buff to your friendly targets too every time you're primordial wave, so that means every 45 seconds. Pretty crazy, right? So you could go with Burrow, or you could go with Shamanism, whatever, man. Depends on which content you like to do. I like bigger scales battles. I'd rather use Bloodlust, but on smaller scale PvP, I would totally rock Shamanism, of course. 1 minute CD for 20% haste, on top of your primordial wave, on top of your preeminence. Like, you're getting so much haste, it's just unreal. On the left side, there's not much to talk about, except you absolutely need to play Totemic Projection. As you guys see, whenever you use your how it's called, Static Field Totem, you can actually move it along with your enemies. That's how people actually do that, with Totemic Projection. And then you need Elemental Orbit. It's absolutely, you need to pick that one, okay? Because it allows you to use your Lightning Shield on yourself and then put a Heart Shield, which heals you basically. And then it's not all, you can also place your Heart Shield on one ally, so it's super strong. I believe it's going to be nerfed eventually. All right, so let's get straight into the full burst rotation. Okay, it's pretty simple, but you need to remember one thing: flame shots. Okay, you need 6 flame shots. If you can nail those 6 flame shots every time you burst, you're gonna blast people, man. Absolutely crazy. Okay, the very first global that you absolutely need to press is Fire Alley. Why? Because whenever you have your Fire Alley out, when you flame shock people, your flame shock's duration will last so much longer, and you absolutely need to do that. Okay, and then we're gonna proceed into dotting as many people as possible with flame shocks. And in between, we need to use Frost Shock once, just to get that buff, which is called Elemental Equilibrium. This is also very important. Okay, so alright, so I've installed an add-on which shows the spells, and I'm pressing in real time so you guys can actually follow along. First global, as I've been explaining, Fire Alley. Big damage! 2.5 million DPS, dude. Absolutely dumb. Earth Shock whenever you don't have a lot of burst proc. You never want to be pressing Earth Shock when you have a lot of burst procs. And then watch this. In about like 5 seconds, we will be bursting again. Okay? It's not done yet. Again. That's literally aimbot. You want to use all your lava burst procs as soon as they come off, okay? Prioritizing your lava burst over your Earth Shock, okay? Earth Shock deals quite amazing numbers too, but you're getting so many lava bursts, you cannot stop pressing them. And then what you want to do is redot real fast, okay? Using the Totem, Lust Shot, everything, and then again we're pumping again. Oh, so this is pretty much never ending. Every 1 minute you can deal some pretty amazing damage with shamanism. I would say I kind of like playing with shamanism too, man. Yeah, so let's check the damage. 60% of our damage is Lava Burst, okay? Lava Burst hitting as hard as 520k. So that's how you're literally going to annihilate the whole team. Okay, your very first Lava Bursts are the hardest hitting ones. That's why you need to use your unused trinket with your arcs ratio. If you're playing arc, if you don't play arc, that's fine too. You're going to deal a ton of damage anyways. So, Lava Bursting like crazy. We're gonna Earth Shock sometimes, okay? Your hardest hitting Heart Shocks. I did hit for 400k with Earth Shocks, but it's pretty rare, okay? It's in the first 15 seconds of your whole burst is when you're gonna hit the hardest with Heart Shock. But again, I would highly prioritize your Lava Bursts. You're getting so many of them, you need to spam them, okay? Your Flame Shocks dealing kind of meaningful damage, I guess, like 76k damage, and with your high haste it's going to tick faster, and with high haste Flame Shocks are going to give you more Lava Bursts to spam. Thus the importance of multi-flame shocking as many targets as possible. And then Fire Alley, like dealing pretty much all your damage comes from Lava Burst and Flame Shock. Basically that's literally how Alley works right now. So, as a bonus, for those of you who watch my videos up until the end, I'm including a bonus macro. I'm gonna teach you something that is pretty dumb, but it works. It's in the game. So, if you want to abuse it, be my guest, okay? So, I've got this very cool macro here that whenever you press it, it uses Blood Fury, which is your arcs ratio, and then it uses your unused trinket, Draconic Aspirant's Badge of Ferocity, and then finally it uses Volatile Crimson Embers. Basically what they do, they increase all damage that you deal by 30% for 24 seconds. You're asking me right now, where do you get those? Pretty simple. Sell to Rex right here. I believe it's on the last page. Yes, Volatile Crimson Embers. They're so cheap, and you will be smacking people with that, okay? It used to be not possible to use those in BGs. Right now it's possible, so abuse it with Ali Shami. I mean, that's obvious. Of course, I will be linking that macro down in the description with the build, so you can just like copy paste and start playing right away. Thanks a lot for watching. Hopefully, guys, learned something, and hopefully you will have a ton of fun with this build. If this video helped you, please hit the subscribe button, share this video to your friends who are most likely playing Alley right now, and they would most likely like to learn about this build. So thanks a lot for watching. Hopefully, guys, have a wonderful rest of the day. This was Clunky Doo.